Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Minds podcast. I'm your co-host, Paulo Costa, the cat that gives you your co-main event back. And to my left over here is the main man, Jesus De Niro, the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form the dynamic duo that won't die. Deadly ideas, brothers, and spicier content than your girl's OnlyFans. What is going on, everybody? Before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and with that, let's get right into it. So we have a really good fight on our hands. I think both of these individuals actually bring unique fighting styles to this particular match. What are we talking about here? Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa. Listen, I think it's going to be a great match. I don't want to say that these guys complement each other well, because I think they're both kind of erratic individuals in the way that they fight. Paulo Costa is obviously known as kind of a little bit of a bomber. He likes to go in there and kind of bang it out, so to speak. And as of late, Sean Strickland has been a little bit more of a striker. He's been kind of... he's always been a striker, but he's a little bit more... He's better. He's gotten better as a striker. I credit that in a gigantic portion to the training that he's been doing with Pereira. Pereira, to a certain degree, kind of looks like he's taken Sean Strickland under his wing, which I think it's worked out great for Sean Strickland, if I'm being honest. It's definitely debatable if Sean Strickland beats Duplessis. I actually thought that was a great match. To be honest with you, me personally, I actually saw it going the other way. I actually thought Sean did enough to keep the belt. So I think ever since Sean Strickland stepped in with training with Pereira, I think his striking game has upped itself, his stance, the shots that he picks, so on and so forth. Even to a certain degree, if you look, he actually uses the hook very much like Pereira now, which obviously, makes sense given that they're training together. So I think his game has stepped up quite a bit. With that being said, I think that's definitely going to help him against somebody like Paulo. Now, the question is, can Sean Strickland withstand an onslaught from Paulo Costa? Listen, the last time that he really faced someone that was in there that had good power was with Pereira. And unfortunately, that one didn't go so good for Sean Strickland. With that being said, I don't think Paulo Costa has the same power than he does a Pereira. So, can he withstand the power? Yeah, but I think if Sean gets caught a little bit too well, I think Paulo can take this. The reason I think this is such a good match is because, I'll be honest with you, I could see it going either way. I can see Sean Strickland outstriking and really picking apart Paulo Costa. With that being said, I can also see Paulo Costa going in there and knocking out Sean Strickland. I think it's definitely possible. So that's why I think makes a great match when you're not really 100% sure which way it's going to go. If I have to pick at this particular point, I'm hoping Sean goes in there with a strategy, a very specific strategy to beat the many flaws of Paulo Costa. So I'm going to actually go with Sean Strickland. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the man. I think he talks a little bit too fucking much even for his own good. But I think in the ring, in the cage, I think he does a lot of good work. So I think if he plans well, definitely Sean. In fact, that's going to be my pick. What do you think about that, my man?
Listen, man, the story you go into this fight, at least on Paulo Costa's side, because he's been on a tiny bit of a losing streak. I think the last three fights that he's had were definitely ones that weren't airing in his favor. And I think that might be the fuel for him going into this match, is that he's basically going to have to show up, or he's going to be losing stock in himself as a fighter pretty damn fast. And I think and again, in the same way that I hope this would light a fire under Tyson Fury, even though it's a boxing match, even though this would light a fire for Tyson Fury, even though it was the one debatable win over Francis Ngannou, I think this is going to do the same thing for Paulo Costa. Now, as far as how the fight is going to go, personally, I don't think Sean Strickland's defense game is really going to be that strong. It seems like his more stronger point would be in his offense game, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think with the onslaught that Paulo Costa would offer and the power that comes with it, I think Sean Strickland would do better in his defense game than he would in his offense game. It's one of those things where, yes, you can meet him head on, but I feel like you're going to wear out more on your gas tank than he is in his. And I feel like with the gas tank I don't want to say gas tank. I feel like with what he's got in the tank, I feel like he's going to have to survive that onslaught from Paulo Costa more so than Costa is going to have to outlast Sean Strickland. I think they're both going to wear themselves out pretty far. But I think Costa, again, has more power in his tank more so than Sean Strickland. So I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna get into a barrage, and I think Paulo Costa is just gonna outpower him in that respect. Personally, me, that's how I see it. I think it's gonna be a Paulo Costa match. But what do you think? Am I off in my analysis, or what do you think?
No, man, if I'm being honest with you, that's actually not a bad analysis at all. And I completely forgot that Paulo Costa is actually on a losing streak. I do know, obviously, he lost his last one against Bobby Knuckles. We actually talked about it right before the recording this. But I forgot that before that he was actually on a little bit of a losing streak. Listen, a loss to Whitaker, which it was still a decent match, if I'm being honest, for Paulo Costa. I definitely think that it could definitely go Paulo Costa's way, especially because Sean Strickland is very reckless. And I agree with you. His defense is not that great. So yeah, I can definitely see it going Paulo Costa's way as well. I think that's a fair analysis. It's a good thing you reminded me about his losses, which I agree with you can definitely be a motivator. You got me rethinking it. I'm gonna stick with Sean. Listen, if Sean has been looking good as of late, yeah, he's lost a couple which are arguable. Again, I personally think Sean beat Duplessis. And given that Duplessis is now the champion, top of the division, I think there's a fair argument to be made that Sean should be the one on top of the division. That being said, I think he's looked sharp enough to where he can beat Paulo Costa. Obviously, Paulo Costa can take him to the ground. If he does, I think Paulo Costa is definitely going to fare way, way, way better there. But again, it also seems like Paulo Costa has also been a little bit of a wanting to get in there and bang with whoever he's been jumping in the ring, which he did with Robert Whitaker in his last match. Fair to him, and again, I think he did great. I do think Robert won. I think that was definitely a win for Bobby Knuckles. But I do think that Paulo Costa, he hung in there. So I'll be honest with you, I can see it going either way. Again, this is why I like these types of matches, man. The type of matches where you don't know 100% which way it's going to go. Even look, if you want to call it for one fighter and you want to say it's 60-40 or 55-45 and you favor one strongly over the other, I think it's fair to say that this is a decent matchup. It could be competitive going either way, and that's why I love these matches, man. You never really know. Betting odds, honestly, I probably wouldn't bet on this one just because it's up in the air for me. But listen, it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be exciting for all the fans. I'm definitely interested to see what you guys think. You guys responded very positively to our last video, our initial of Islam versus Dustin Poirier. So let us know what you think, man. Go ahead and make sure and drop your predictions down below. This is gonna be the initial, so we'll see how it goes. We'll definitely do a follow up as we get closer to the actual fight. But with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.